Hi everyone, my name's Gemma and this is our Muslim homeschool, and today I'm going to show you some of the books and resources that we have been using in our homeschool to learn about British birds. This is part of our nature study that we do as part of our Charlotte Mason homeschool curriculum, and I'm really excited to show you some of these books today. Now, most of these books are really for homes who are in the UK, but hopefully even if you're living elsewhere you can use some of these birds. Particularly if you're in North America, we have a lot of similar birds and similar wildlife, so hopefully some of this will help. So the first book I want to show you is The Poetry of Birds, and this again is one of those books that you can use probably no matter where you live. This is a collection of poetry. I'll first show you inside. It's a collection of poetry from various different poets, and we've been using this just to read aloud and enjoy, and we've been using it to copy out into our nature journals, and it's just a really lovely book. It's so nice to have it all together and all in one book. The next one I'll show you here is Deep in the Wood by Richard Bell. This is a beautiful picture book, and I've actually got a signed copy, which is a complete fluke. I don't know how I managed to get that. I just got it off Amazon, I think. So this is Deep in the Wood, and if I show you inside, the pictures are so nice. Now this is a story of lots of different animals that live within the wood, and I think this is perfect for younger children, so primary school age children, maybe children under the age of 8. And so that teaches children all about the different animals that live in the woods, but in a narrative form. So if I show you the next one, this is it called The Goshawk? Yeah, The Goshawk by T.H. White. This is a very old copy of the book, but you can get newer editions if you prefer. And this is the story of a man who tried to tame a wild goshawk. As you can see, the illustrations are just lovely. And it's written in the form of a diary. It's a great way to teach older children a bit more about birds of prey. And sort of following along the same lines is An Owl in the House, a Naturalist's Diary. And this is the story of a man who rescues an abandoned owlet and a baby owl that he finds in the woods and rears it at home. And it's written in the diary form. It's got beautiful illustrations, original black and white photography in there. And again, it's a really nice way to teach children about birds of prey in a very personal way. Finally, on the literature side, I want to show you this book. It's Tales of Wild Bird Life by H. Mortimer Batten. And this is a collection of, I think, 15 stories about British birds. And they make lovely read-alouds, and it's a very nice way for children to learn about our native birds here in the UK. Now, if you are in America, you've probably heard of this book, but if you haven't, the Burgess Bird Book for Children. This is, again, a similar thing to this book. They're very similar in the sense that it's a collection of different stories about birds. So this is particularly focused on North America. We have read some of these, even though we're here in the UK, and they're really lovely, really nicely written. So if you are over the pond, then do check this book out. So now if we go on to books for younger children, these are sort of picture books that we've enjoyed, and I just want to share them with you here today. If we start with this one on the bottom. This is probably our favourite. This is The Eagle and the Wren by Jane Goodall. And this story, my children still talk about this today. They really enjoyed this book. Is it all in focus? Let me see. Yeah. So this is a beautiful picture book. As you can see, I think this would probably be suitable for children aged probably under 7. But the story is absolutely delightful. It teaches children about morals, about perseverance. It's got loads of different birds in it. It's not just eagles and wrens. We've really, really enjoyed this. Like I say, they still talk about the story today. So that's The Eagle and the Wren. You've probably heard of this book already, Make Way for Ducklings. This is actually set in New York, I believe. And this would make a lovely story, again, for children maybe aged 3 to 6. The next one I want to show you is a classic by Jan Brett, Hedgie's Surprise, and this focuses on chickens. But why not? It's a lovely, cute book for children under probably 6 again, 3 to 6. I think they'd really enjoy that one. And finally, we picked up this book from the library. It's the Little Book of Woodland Bird Song, and it's so cute. You press these buttons and you can hear the bird song of various different birds, and they also have one for garden birds as well. I think it's a lovely book for younger children. Inside you can see that they've got some facts and a nice photograph of each of the birds. So this is great for younger children. I can't play that for you because unfortunately the battery's run out. We've used it so much. And then finally, I want to show you all of our reference books. So out of our little stack of reference books, these are the two that we've probably used the most. So this is the Usborne Spotter's Guide for Birds, and this is the book that we take out with us when we go out on our nature walks. If I can show you inside there. As you can see, it's got some lovely illustrations, it's got a little bit of information, just enough so that you can identify them when you're out and about. And the great thing about this book is that you can just pop it in your bag and it doesn't weigh you down at all. So that's been great for that. But this book is not great for copying illustrations from into your nature notebooks because the pictures are quite small and quite limited. So for our nature journals, what we've actually been using is this beautiful book here. This is Collins' Life-Size Birds. And this is apparently the only guide to show British birds in their actual size. And we've really, really enjoyed this book. As you can see, you get a lot of information, you get loads of different photographs from different angles, you get male and female, you get a nice map there. So we have really enjoyed using this book. So we take a look at the bird, let's say this one, we choose which photograph we want to copy and sketch into our nature journal, and then we copy it from there. So we've really enjoyed that. I think together this book and the Usborne Spotter's Guide have been fantastic for us. I think they were indispensable actually this term. Other reference books that we have that I would recommend, if I bring them across. So we've got this little stack here. This is the Usborne Little Book of Birds. Now this I picked up from the library, but this is a great book for younger children. It's got loads and loads of information about life cycles, about identification, about all kinds of biology to do with birds. So that would be great for children under 7, maybe under 8. And this book as well, another one by Usborne, the Usborne Complete First Book of Nature. Now, this book isn't just birds. It's a whole, it's everything really about nature in a very simplistic way, but it's very interesting, as you would expect with Usborne books. It's beautifully illustrated. And I think this book is a great way to introduce younger children to nature study in general. I've got this for my 5-year-old and he loves it, and I think it's even nicer for older children as well who are new to nature study. This last book by Elsie Proctor is a bit of a classic. This is particularly good for those of you in the UK. This is a collection of nature study lessons actually. So at the beginning it's very simplistic. It's not just about birds as well, it's about all kinds of things. It goes through the seasons. And then it gives you activities. So this is we go fishing, looking at game birds. I mean, there's so many, how seeds are scattered. Look at that picture, isn't that beautiful? So that's autumn leaves. And then here, invisible things in the air, spores, fungi, moss. I mean, there's so much in here. And as you move through the book, the lessons get harder. And I would say it's even suitable for secondary school age children. Classifying a plant. As you can see, it gets much more complex. Hereditary characters, so that's genetics in that one. So this is really looking at all aspects of biology through nature. So we use that sort of intermittently, and it's great for getting ideas for our nature study. So here are our nature journals, and I'm really excited to share these with you actually, because last time I showed you in a video, they were completely blank in my curriculum choices video. They were empty then, but they have been used and they have started to fill up anyway with some pictures of birds. But I'm going to show you that in a minute. First, I just want to show you the paints that we're using. So these paints, these watercolor paints are by Prang, and I just got these off Amazon. And the reason that we chose these is basically because they were quite inexpensive, and they are probably ideal really for beginners, especially if you don't know if it's going to be something that you're going to keep on and keep developing in your homeschool. So that's why we got these, and we are enjoying them and we are using them regularly, so it was worth the investment, although like I said, it wasn't too bad. And then these are the brushes. These were, I think I got these from the Works. They were very inexpensive, again, just because I wasn't sure how much painting we were going to actually do, so I got something quite cheap, and we just share these. I'll try and find the link for these and put that in the blog post too. And now if I just show you the journals themselves, so we each have one for each of my 2 boys and one for myself. I don't know whose that is. Okay, so that is my 7-year-old son's. And what we usually do is on one day we will sketch what we are studying. and then on another day we will paint, because I try to keep the lessons quite short. I want them to be concentrating during the class and during the painting lesson. I don't want them to get distracted or lose interest. So we usually split it at least between 2, if not 3 lessons, because then we write around the paintings as well. So he's written a little poem there. He's written the name of the bird and the Latin as well. And it's you know what, it's really lovely to sit with your kids and paint and draw together and drawing the same thing. And what I find really interesting is how you observe different things. So especially with different age groups and different personalities, everybody sees something different in the same bird or the same plant or whatever it might be that you're drawing. And I think it's lovely. There's a lot of discussion that goes on when you're painting. So those are some of our favourite books, but we have actually used more books than this and more resources. If you would like the full list, please head over to the coordinating blog post. I will leave the link for that in the description box below. And on the blog post, you will have a full list of all the books that I've mentioned here, as well as all the others that we've used, a CD that we've enjoyed, a game, and all sorts of other things. So I hope you will check out the blog post, and I hope that has been helpful to you and you got some ideas there. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you've not already. And if you have any questions about any of these books or about nature study or anything really, please do leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them if I can. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next video. Bye.